Okay, so today we're gonna be talking about principal inquiry. If you hear children, just ignore that because they exist. What do you want? Give me just a second to make this video, please. And my assignment for Butler's EPPSP program. This is what the 10-minute break looks like at EPPSP. There's lots of people talking about lots of things.
Here, is this for your vlog?
It is for the vlog.
Oh, no, we have to delete it now.
No.
No, we're live now.
Oh, no. It's gonna be awesome. And my assignment is to say what my question is for practitioner inquiry and to include some background on that. So that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so at Maple Grove Elementary this year, we are going to be doing kind of a whole school pilot on this program called Words Their Way. All right, so I have some materials here to show you. So this is the Words Their Way, I'm gonna use the word handbook. So this is the handbook. This is kind of the main book, and I've read this and marked it all up like I do. And it's basically a new way of teaching spelling. And to give you some background on that, I went to elementary school at a great elementary school that was doing kind of the same thing, I think, as Words Their Way, what Maple Grove was doing with Words Their Way. Only what they were doing is they were piloting a whole language program. And so when I was like 5 or 6 years old, I just learned whole language. I didn't learn any phonics. And unfortunately, I think kids at that age are like wet cement, and what you press into them stays. Now, this is gonna be kind of an obscure reference, and it's gonna seem like I'm going way, way out of what we're talking about, but I promise it all comes back. So if you haven't already, check out the Smarter Everyday video where the guy teaches himself to ride a backwards bike. Basically, when you're riding a bike, if you turn one side or the other side, I don't know which is your right and your left right now, or my right and my left right now, according to what you're watching. So if you turn this way, the bike is gonna go this way. And if you turn the handlebars this way, the bike is gonna go this way. And so what he did, the Smarter Everyday guy did, is he had engineers re-engineer a bike for him so that when he turned the handlebars this way, the bike went that way. And he thought that it wouldn't take him, I think he thought it wouldn't take him very long to learn how to ride this bike. But it took him like 6 months, and he had to practice like every day to learn how to ride this bike. And so basically, well, and then he had his kid do it, who's like a little kid. And the kid learned in like 2 weeks how to ride the backwards bike. And then when the adult got off the backwards bike and got on a regular bike again, he couldn't ride it because what he had done is he had retrained the synapses or the network in his brain to ride the backwards bike, and he couldn't just undo that training, you know, like in a minute. He couldn't go back to the way that he was. Now his kid could, because kids' minds are like rubber, or like that wet cement that I talked about earlier. As we age though, I think that our brains become harder to change. I think it's possible for them to change, but I don't think that our brains are wired to change quickly. So that's kind of my background with this, is that I teach this. So I didn't learn this as a kid, and so I see a lot of value in it because phonics is still something that's really, really hard for me. I'm not a strong speller. And I think sometimes people say like, oh, I'm not a strong speller, and they're like a way better speller than I am. And so I'm excited about this program because I think it's really, really, really important for kids to understand word parts and how words work and how they don't work, and that there are sometimes that they follow the rules and sometimes that they don't follow the rules, and how to make all of that make sense in their head. Now, as a practitioner doing this year, I'm really nervous because this is not where my skill set lies. And even just trying to understand it, I have to like actually learn it as a human, as a person, and then I have to go back and teach it to myself and then figure out how to teach it to kids. And so that's a little intimidating this year. But what I'm looking at this as a principal inquiry, or what I'm kind of looking at for Butler, is number one, what does it look like when an entire school pilots a program versus just one teacher piloting a program, or a couple of teachers, or a grade level of teachers? But what does it look like when a whole school kind of gets on board with a practitioner inquiry? And then also my next one is this words their way. Is this the best way to be teaching kids? Like, is this better than what we were doing? And if it is, what does that mean? What do we need to do to make sure that we get a program like this in every school so that no kid ends up like me, they can't break words down and don't know how to do any of that kind of stuff. So that's my kind of two-part practitioner inquiry question. I look forward to your comments on this. If you have any questions for me on my program that I'm looking at, I would love to hear them. If you have any ideas or suggestions, I would love to hear them. So there we go. Have a lovely day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.